I don't know if you're like me, but I can remember when I was a younger leader that when I would hear people talk about how important our mindsets are and let's do mindset work, I used to think that was really cheesy and pointless and what? Like, let's just get to the stuff and do the stuff. And over the years, what I've learned is I could not have been more wrong about how important mindset work is. And when it comes to things like self-awareness as a leader and congruence as a leader, I have found in my work with so many leaders and so many organizations that our mindset really does affect the way that we show up, which then affects the way that other people perceive us. So I want to share with you one sort of framework to think about how your mindset could be affecting your self-awareness and your congruence. And just to define congruence really fast, it's this idea that, well, I should say it this way. Congruent leaders are people who their actions, their behaviors, the way that they see themselves is consistent with the way that other people view them over time, right? So there's a very small gap between how we see ourselves and how other people experience us. So let's talk about one way that mindset can really affect our self-awareness and congruence. So I want to introduce you to a term called locus of control. The locus of control, kind of a quick definition here is, and this is a paraphrase, is it's the degree to which we believe that we have agency and control over our outcomes. So people that have what we call a high external locus of control, these are individuals and leaders who sort of believe, things happen to me. I am sort of the worst of it would be like, I'm a victim of my circumstances. I'm kind of reacting to things as they happen to me, right? Whereas a leader who has a high internal locus of control is someone who believes I have agency over the outcomes that I get. I have the ability to influence what happens. And the reason that this matters is because think about it like this. Let's imagine that you as a leader have a lot of dysfunction, like you're starting to sense a lot of dysfunction on your team. If you were to have a high external locus of control, you might, as a way to kind of cope with that, you might feel more powerless in your mindset to have an external locus of control. You might think, well, it's all the bad hires that we make around here. And it's just all the change that we're going through, which I can't do anything about. So of course the team is gonna be really dysfunctional. Maybe when things settle down, I don't know. But for right now, there's not really anything I can do about it. And if you listen to what you tell yourself, the messages you tell yourself, and also if you listen to others, you can hear that kind of thinking. That's a mindset. It's an external locus of control, which says, hey, I'm sort of a victim of the circumstances, of the change, of the bad hires, of the leadership style of my executive team. It could be anything, right? And what can I do? It is what it is, right? So in its worst form, a leader with a high degree of external self-awareness or external locus of control is kind of like, it doesn't matter, it is what it is, right? But think about it like this. If you're a leader and you're starting to sense maybe there's some dysfunction on your team, someone with a high internal locus of control their mindset is going to be more, okay, yes, there are some things that are outside of my control. Where do I have agency? Where can I set better vision during this time of change? Where can I be, more clear in my expectations with my team? What can I do to influence change? Where can I make a difference? Where does my behavior, take us one way or the other? That's the difference in an internal and an external locus of control. So in a lot of the coaching work that I do, it is helping leaders think about where they do have agency and where they do have the ability to influence outcomes. So the next time that you find yourself frustrated about something, maybe feedback that you got that was hard to hear, or maybe you even disagreed with, maybe it is an organizational change that you're trying to lead your team through that is just eating your lunch, whatever it is, the next time that something like that happens, I want you to think, okay, what is my default thinking pattern or my default mindset And if I tend more towards an external locus of control, it's not that I'm totally wrong on some of these things, but how can I start to shift a little bit to an internal locus of control? By doing this, you're gonna grow in self-awareness, you're gonna grow in congruence with your team, you will see all sorts of positive outcomes. And when you do, tell me about it. Shoot me an email. I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope that this is helpful. As always, my goal is to give you content that is actionable and evidence-based. It's a deep joy to get to do this work. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.